Vice President JD Vance defending free speech in a powerful address to the Munich Security Conference yesterday, while also urging European leaders to reject censorship.
Just as the Biden administration seemed desperate to silence people for speaking their minds, so the Trump administration will do precisely the opposite, and I hope that we can work together on that. In Washington, there is a new sheriff in town, and under Donald Trump's leadership, we may disagree with your views, but we will fight to defend your right to offer it in the public square, agree or disagree.
Here to weigh in is Missouri Senator Eric Schmitt. Great to see you, Senator Schmitt. You know, I was really struck by that entire speech from JD Vance, and especially when he said to them, he asked, it's not what you're fighting against, it's what you're fighting for. And I thought it was it was pretty amazing to hear him lay out for them the importance of the most basic things like free speech and freedom of religion.
I totally agree. I was there in the audience and watched the speech live, and I thought it was a great speech and a message that needed to be delivered. If we really believe in this thing called democracy or a constitutional republic, we have to defend the right of people who we disagree with to say what they want to say. And it's that level of dissent, I think, that makes us stronger in having an honest conversation. It's really kind of a pressure release valve. For me, it was particularly poignant because the job I had before being a senator, I was Attorney General in Missouri. We brought the Missouri versus Biden lawsuit that exposed this vast censorship enterprise that Joe Biden had with the big tech companies to silence conservatives. So we see it in the homeland. I think he's right. President Trump wants to move away from that kind of movement that is, the left has been captured by. But it is live and well here in Europe, and I think it was a very, very important message to deliver.
So you were in the room there. What was the reaction of everybody that you were sitting with?
Well, let's just say I was one of the few people standing and clapping. But I think that... But let me say this. I actually think, and part of the reason why I'm here, is I think we have to be honest and we have to stop telling our European allies what they want to hear and tell them the truth. And so for me, the message I'm delivering is we have to pivot to China in the United States. They are our chief adversary. The 21st century is going to be defined by who wins this great power struggle. Our European allies have to step up for their own defense. They have not funded, their industrial base has been depleted. They don't have armies to defend their own borders. That has to change. And so that's my message that I'm delivering. I'm glad JD Vance, our vice president, my friend, delivered that message about free speech here on the European continent where people are literally being arrested for praying outside of abortion clinics and people are being censored online.
Yeah, it's truly extraordinary. And he had that really funny moment earlier in the speech when he did get a round of applause. And he said that this may be the last applause I get in this room. And then he just launched right into that. You mentioned a minute ago, and you're right, obviously you were one of the early warriors for free speech here in the United States. Obviously, a lot of your former Democrat colleagues, attorney generals, are going up against the Trump administration, trying to prevent Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Doge from basically making the executive branch more efficient. How is that going to play out?
They're going to ultimately lose. I mean, the Democrats right now are just sort of on their heels. They don't have their bearings. They don't have a leader. They've been very focused on unpopular issues, and really they're swinging at every pitch, and they're throwing as much as they can up against the wall to see what sticks. None of these cases are going to hold up because here's the difference between cases that really deal with separation of powers and what President Trump's doing. He's dealing with the executive branch. Of course, the chief executive has the ability to make decisions on personnel and on wasteful programs that have been, we're not line iteming in budgets $2 million for Guatemalan sex changes. That is what an administrative agency has decided to waste taxpayer dollars on. And so President Trump has every right to rein that in. And so I think as these make their way through the courts, they might find a friendly judge here or there. But ultimately, as it makes its way through appeals and having hearings on the merits, President Trump's going to be successful.
So real quickly, I mean, do you think that it will wind up going all the way to the Supreme Court, or it will get resolved before then?
I think, a couple of them might, but ultimately, once they make their way to the appellate courts or even actually a full-blown trial, a lot of these are temporary restraining orders that you don't even have all the evidence being introduced yet. So.
Senator, thank you so much for joining us.